Hi guys, welcome to the video. In this video, I'll be reviewing the song Yaane Yaane. This is from the upcoming film Mimi. Composer is A.R. Rahman, singer is Rakshita Suresh, and the lyric writer here is Amitabh Bhattacharya. यानी 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 आने को है एक मेहमान. Before we get into the review, I just want to quickly address one thing. A lot of you asked me to do an entire album review. Thanks a lot for your feedback. I'm definitely going to do that, but it will not be one big video. I want to give importance to each song and discuss the finer points of it. So I'll be doing the entire album review as individual videos for each song. So with that being said, let's just get right into the review. So let's talk about the concept of the song. What I can gather from the song is that this is a birthday shower kind of a song, right? So in the last film, 99 Songs, you had a God Bharai song. This is a very similar kind of a song, I feel. But here the flavor, the context of the situation, everything is different. If you have seen the trailer, you know that this is a Rajasthani Hindu woman pretending to be a Muslim. So I think that is where this song comes in, because you have a lot of Arabic kind of flavor in the song. But there is certain liberty taken here. Like Rahman likes to do these things. If you remember, there was a film called Kadal, which was about a Christian fisherman. But in India, Christian music not necessarily means gospel music that they sing in America. But he clarified this in an interview where he said that I connected those dots and brought that kind of music here. Similarly, here he has connected the dots with Turkish or Arabic music, but I'm saying he has taken liberty because in India, even in a lot of Muslim families, when they have song and dance, it is Indian music, right? Or Indian folk music. But Indian classical music itself has certain, Middle Eastern elements. That's a whole other discussion. But because people are from India, so the music is more often than not Indian. But for cinema, this works beautifully when a composer tries to experiment something because of that story, and that is why we got this beautiful song. Let's talk about the lyrics. So the lyric here is more functional than artistic. So it's not trying to do any wonders here or try and explain the situation in some really poetic way. It's more situational. So the lyric overall talks about a new kid that is going to be born and describes the kid in very different ways. एक जगह पे it says पेशगी है ये मेहमान, so it's like an offering, right? And in the other line it says khushiyon ki khan, which means a treasure trove of happiness, and that kind of a thing. So it is very functional and it is very much based on the situation. There's not much scope to show your shairi or show your poetic prowess as such, but Amitabh Bhattacharya, within the confines of the situation and the tune, has done a great job. Even the hook that is so catchy that goes Yane 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 is not that meaningful, right? Because Yane is just a conjunction. It's a word like, but, that means, that is, that also, that kind of a word, right? It is not even a noun. It doesn't really mean anything. It's a word that is used to convey meaning for something else. We use this word like dil yane ye, ghar yane wo, right? So if you make that a hook, I think the only reason Rahman made it a hook is because of the sound of the word and the way you can play with that. It does not add a lot to the meaning of the song. Even though I said that the lyrics don't enhance the poetic quality of the song, one thing I must admit is that the lyrics do paint a picture. As soon as you listen to the lyrics, you know what's the atmosphere within this festival because they already, say all that in the lyrics. There's a line where they say that there is a lot of hustle bustle in the household because of this. He explicitly says shor gul, halla gulla, and all that. So they have used the lyrics to actually paint a picture, which is also a very efficient way of using song lyrics, but it's not traditionally what we expect from a Bollywood song. Let's talk about the vocal performance. For me, this is one of the highlights of the song. Rakshita Suresh here has done an absolutely fantastic job, and it gives me a more happy kind of a feeling because I know the context and I know where she's coming from. If I'm not wrong, she was a participant in a Tamil Nadu TV singing reality show, and she obviously sang a lot of Tamil songs in there. And if I'm not wrong, she has a YouTube channel as well where she again sings more of Tamil songs. If it is the same Rakshita Suresh, she has done an absolutely fantastic job because, and I want to say this in Hindi, is that अगर आपको पता नहीं है ये सारी चीज़ें, आप सिर्फ pronunciation तलफ़ुज़ सुनेंगे, you will not know that this singer is from the south, and maybe Hindi is not her first language. She has done an absolutely bang up job on that. Also, I don't know about her training and how trained she is in Indian classical music, but there's a very special thing about this song, which we'll talk about when we come to the composition part. But even if she is highly classically trained, there are all these Turkish and Arabic style influences in the song, which average Indian might not be really familiar with, because it's not a part of our musical vocabulary, and she has picked those things really well, and it doesn't feel very alienated. It brings certain relatability uh, to us also, right? Because that music is a bit far away, but this kind of rendering makes it a bit more accessible for us. So that's the job of a singer, and she has pulled off a brilliant job here. Now let's talk about the composition. It's been almost 30 years, but this man doesn't, stop surprising you. Of course, the structure is, as I always say, even here is typical Bollywood. It's a bit Antra Mukda kind of a structure, but he plays so much with sound that there are portions of the song which feel like a different section. So you have the Mukda and the hook, which is again very peculiar because, as I already mentioned, it is not a key kind of a word, it's a conjunction, Yaane Yaane, but he makes a hook out of it. So that itself is really good. And then you go into the Antra, but after that, there's a portion where arrangement technique or a production technique is turned into a composition technique, right? It feels like a different section where all the high frequency sounds are cut. You feel like the sound is coming from somewhere else, or like it's playing in someone's head. In films and TV, they do this a lot. They cut all the high frequency when the character's thinking about something and is lost in his or her own world, and the sound is kind of muffled. I felt something like that over there. Maybe it's what the situation demands over there, but just listening to the audio, it feels like a different section, something very experimental that he has done, and then it comes back. But when it comes back to the nature of the song, notice that the scale of the song has slightly changed, or at least it feels like that. It feels modulated. So in the last mukra, in the last part of the song, the pitch of the song, the scale of the song, I think is slightly raised, and that adds to a lot of energy to the song. The major highlight of this composition, though, is the thing that I'm going to say next. If you look at the main melody of the song, you will find hard pressed to find a line where the notes are straight, right? There are no notes, almost no notes, where there is no, harkat or a nuance or a bend. Somewhere it's in the Indian style, there are places where it's in the Arabic or Turkish style, but definitely you have those bends and haircuts going on throughout the song, and that is the reason I think this song was made, to experiment a song where you can do this throughout the song and make sense of the song, and it has worked beautifully. There is no place where it feels forced or coerced. It has been done in a very elegant and a very beautiful kind of manner, but definitely it conveys to you, to the listener, that it is an experiment. They have not tried to hide it, because generally what happens is that they do these RT experiments, but the idea is to not show that it's an experiment, right? The idea is to just give you the feeling based on the words and based on the story. But here, they have not tried to do that. They have blatantly shown you that this is an experiment we're doing, that हर लाइन में हरकतें मुड़कियाँ ये सारी चीज़ें होंगी, कोई भी स्ट्रेट नोट नहीं होगा, एंड दैट्स अ ग्रेट थिंग दे हैव डन. Now let's talk about arrangement and production. So a lot of peculiar things have been done in arrangement and production as well. One of them I've already mentioned is a section where higher frequencies are cut. But apart from that, also there are a lot of things to talk about in this particular song. So the song start with this Arabic kind of a riff. I think it has been done using an oud or some other stringed instrument. Correct me if I'm wrong, and if you guys know which instrument that is exactly, let me know in the comment section down below. Then the song begins. The interesting part for me is the place where the rhythms and the drums drop, right? So I didn't expect this to have a modern rhythmic kind of a feel. That was a pleasant surprise. It comes straight away in the second or third line of the song. So that's really nice. When the transitions are happening from section to section, there are a lot of effects, right? It almost sounds like a DJ doing scratches on the turntable. Those modern kind of an effects have been used in this very Indianized or very Muslim family kind of a situation. These modern elements are used and they fit into the song. So even that is really nice. At places, the song does sound percussion heavy, but I think that was intended to give you that pump of energy in this kind of a song, and that is a refreshing take, right? Usually, when you have this God Barai or baby shower type of song, it is very traditional, but there's a very nice balance of traditional and modern here, and it is very difficult to pull off. And if this was not A.R. Rahman doing it, I would be a bit skeptical about it, but he doesn't give you a chance to be skeptical and he pulls it off really, really well. There are some really well done backing vocals, though the focus is definitely on the main melody, and the backing vocals do their job but don't draw a lot of attention to themselves. There are not a lot of melodic instrumental phrases in the song. There is one tiny one which with the song ends. It's a very unique way of ending a song. He has done this already a couple of times in this very album, and that works in this song as well. Overall, the arrangement and production is also very top notch. The song gives you this happy kind of a feeling, but it's not a very somber kind of happiness. Kafi punch bhi hai. There are places where it might make you want to dance, but I don't know if this song will linger in your head for a long time, because it is after all experimental. But all Rahman's experimental songs seem to have worked as time goes on. So let's see how this one pans out. For now, I'm really into the song. I'm really hooked onto the song, but I don't know what the future holds for this particular song. With that, we have come to the end of this video. If you like this video, please leave a like. Check out other stuff on the channel. I do a lot of music related content, reviews, recommendations, underrated songs, the rare or occasional reaction video, and the very rare film related video. So if you like any of that, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need all your love and support for that. If you want to tell me anything at all, put that in the comment section down below. It can be good, bad, ugly, anything. Just write something, right? If you want to tell me anything other than that, you could always DM me on Instagram. You'll find the handle in the description as well. With that being said, I just want to tell you guys to take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you all in the next video.